You're watching Newsx and I'm Megha Sharma. Let's take a look at the big breaking development that has shaken the entire world. Yes, it is the West Asia war. In fact, a fragile ceasefire is now under severe strain after the most serious direct exchange that has taken place today between Israel and Iran since April. While US President Donald Trump has said that Iran and Israel are now mediating, the Israeli army has now declared that its Air Force completed an extensive strike against strategic defense systems in Iran, while the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said that it had launched attacks on Israel's Nevatim and Tel Nof air bases in response to the Israeli airstrikes overnight. All right, those are latest developments that are coming in, and in fact, we are going to shift our focus to this fragile ceasefire that has been negotiated by US President Donald Trump. Just a few minutes ago, there have been strong, direct statements that are coming in from Iran and from Israel. The official sources at this point of time are saying that both parties, both countries have desisted themselves from further attacking each other. There have been conditions that have been put in by Israel and by Iran as well. In fact, we're getting to know that the senior Israeli officials have said that Israel is halting these strikes against Iran at US President Donald Trump's request. Senior Israeli officials say that the move follows diplomatic pressure from the United States. However, Israel has made it very clear that military operations in southern Lebanon will continue in the coming days. Joining me on the telecast is Ambassador Basuti Mukherjee. Ambassador, what has happened today? If you could give us a synopsis. There seems to be a temporary ceasefire that has been established with the mediation of US President Donald Trump, but there are conditions that are being imposed by Iran as well as by Israel. Israel at this point of time showing it to be a possible attack by Hezbollah is not going to have a direct and equal attack, counter-attack from Israel towards Lebanon, towards Beirut, to which Iran has said that every single time Israel starts to strike Hezbollah in Lebanon, it is going to attack Israel. How do we figure out a solution in this chaotic situation?
Thank you, Megha. It's very clear that Trump has, in rather undiplomatic language, if I may say so, told Netanyahu to back off from Lebanon so that there can be a permanent ceasefire between Israel, US and Iran, and the Straits of Hormuz can be opened, because now the after effect of such a prolonged closure of such an important choke point, maritime choke point, is impacting, as we had always known, the American economy, their inflation, their energy prices, and it is impacting his popularity base. So he needs to cool off as soon as possible. Therefore, I would say, Megha, that over the next 2 to 3 days, we would hopefully find a situation where Netanyahu would back down. He would back down. And then there could be some kind of a ceasefire which would result in the opening up of the Straits of Hormuz through the help of both Oman and Iran, and with the help of the navies of several countries which have volunteered to be there to facilitate the traffic. This would be of great relief, including to us. I was on another news channel where we were discussing the impact of one of our 23 Indian seamen being affected.
Yeah.
It was not on an Indian flag. They are right now being rescued by helicopter. But it just goes to show, Megha, what kind of psychological impact also it is on our Indian seafarers if they are stuck for such a long time on a strait, cut off from home, cut off from a normal life, and expecting any time that an accident can happen by which they can die. It's a terrible situation, and it needs to be resolved. It's not just for Indian seafarers, all the seafarers who are stuck there. And the number of tankers stuck there is alarmingly large, and they need to be sailed as soon as possible, because otherwise there could be a catastrophic incident within the Straits of Hormuz, which could block the Straits of Hormuz for a long period of time. So it's a very tricky situation. I fully agree with you, Megha.
You know,